Hey guys, up Sanu, and today there is well, tomorrow there's bank tabs coming up, but today there is actually a poll. And make sure you guys always check the front page. There's a lot of updates. Sometimes too many. I don't think these things are really necessary, but there is a new poll, so we can take a look at that. It's very important also to have read the developer blog. I read this a few days ago, so I'm going to have to kind of go back to it. But a lot of these questions have no context, so you're not going to really know what's going on unless you actually read the developer blog. So definitely do that, or you're kind of you don't even know what you're voting for. So should we release safe clan wars with a selection of arenas? So that's basically, do you want clan wars or not? I'm pretty sure I want clan wars. I mean, it was fun. Will it have a PvP impact? I'm sure it will. But not huge, and I think it's definitely worth it. These maps I remember were kind of fun. I guess you can call them maps in RuneScape, although people call them maps. Never mind. Anyway, so yeah, so arenas. Okay, that's a better name for it. Arenas. Yeah, I'll have clan wars. It's fine. King of the Hill. What's that? Okay. You collect points for your team by holding. So if you basically are asking for modes here, and obviously the disadvantage if you just vote yes on all these, it's going to take players away from the other modes. So let's actually carefully see if I actually like this. You collect points for your team by holding strategic positions on the map. The team with the most points wins. That sounds really fun. Because the problem in RuneScape with PvP, if you're having a problem with someone, you can just run away from them. Honestly, it's not too hard to escape, unless they got like ice barrage and shit. So that's actually pretty good. I like that. That's forcing you to stay in one area. Team mod skull. One skull that spawns on the map. If you pick up the skull, your team will start collecting points. The team will need to kill you to recapture the skull. The team with the most points in the time period wins. Can you tell who has the skull? I don't know. Either way, that sounds fun. I like that. I don't think these modes are unique to 07 too. Doing nightmares on here, by the way, as well. Anyway, so what's the next one? Target deathmatch. Let's take a look at that. The first team to target. The first team to the target amount of kills wins. Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's fine. Basically, what they're saying here is they're saying like, okay, whoever is it kills or target amount? Yeah, kills. So like, whichever team gets 20 kills wins. So you really got to not die because that's giving a kill to your other team. And if you go and die like 3 times and you only kill 2 people, you're actually hurting the team. So that's actually an interesting mechanic. Definitely, this actually, now that I'm reading this, like again, I looked through this briefly before, and I actually did read the whole thing, but I guess I didn't absorb much of it because this is all sounding pretty fun. And the last one, time team with the most kills in the time period wins. That sounds not as interesting because I mean, just it favors people who are just going to spec people out, and it's also just luck, I'd say. But yeah, it'll make for some interesting things. So I guess we're voting yes on all these modes. None of them are. I mean, this one I think. Oh wait. Oh shit. That's well. Don't disregard my vote here yet. Anyway, yeah, I'd say yes to all these questions. The timed one I don't think is that interesting, but it should be there. And I'm sure it's really easy for them to make that. Free for all safe arena. I'm definitely going to stick with yes on that one. That was always kind of fun. Like, if you're looking for mini games to play on RuneScape right now that involve combat, there's like Castle Wars, and like that's it. Like you can go play like Barbarian Assault if you want, but that's like annoying to play because it's hard to find a good team. It actually is a very fun mini game, by the way, if you actually know what you're doing. Especially a lot of people don't know how to do the Defender one. But if you actually just use the tutorial there and you figure out how to do it, it's a very fun mini game. But unfortunately, a lot of mini games people don't know how to play. So anyway, now I voted yes on all the Clan Wars ones. I think most people will as well. Now we have the Clue Scroll expansion. Let's see. Elite clues. Do we want elite clues? Clue Trail expansion. Let's see. Well, it looks like just about. Looks like you either want it or you don't. It's not like we're the wilderness thing where they ask like, do you want it? And then it's not like this where they ask, do you want Clan Wars? And then they ask a bunch of little questions about Clan Wars. They're just saying, clue scroll expansion, do you want it or not? So let's take a look. Well, here's the thing. I don't like that these elite clues would give rewards like dragon weapons and planks and these seeds. That would lower the price for me as a slayer, which I really don't like. I mean, I guess I'm the one doing these elite clue scrolls. I have a record of, I did 8 level 3 clue scrolls in one day from an elves task. Those tasks are very good for clues, by the way. But of course, I think last Saturday I did like 5. I do so much clue scrolls, it's ridiculous. So I don't like that. This looks pretty cool. The kit to store all the things. I think they have that in RuneScape 3 with the mobilizing armies. So that's all good. And then another thing I don't like here is that they're going to update the existing clue scrolls with new stuff, which is okay, but I'm sure it's just going to boil down to the same thing where, like it is with me now, where I pretty much have almost every clue memorized, other than the fact that other than the coordinate ones, not going to memorize numbers for the most part. But like, if I get a clue scroll, the only ones I really have to check the wiki for is just the coordinates. But they're saying they're going to introduce new ones, which is, I mean, I'm sure it'll boil down to the same thing, where eventually you're just going to keep getting those anyway. I never liked the Bandos, Armadillo, and the Zaros God Gear. I just like it how it is, which is Guthix, Sarah, and Zami. The Gilded looks okay. New rewards, which, here's the problem. Right now, clue scrolls aren't that great. They're worth doing if you get one from Slayer, or if you just get one and you're doing something else, it's always worth doing. But it's not worth actually hunting for clues, because the rewards are not that great. For example, if you get like a Sarah Doman armor piece, like the rune armor, it's not really worth much because there's no market for it. No one wants to buy them. So I think instead of adding new rewards, I think the better option would be to, and I'm sure they're working on this, to add free-to-play. Because when there's free-to-play, free-to-players want those items, because it was genius what they did when they made these clue scrolls. You can only get those items if you can only obtain them from scratch as if you're a member. From those clue scrolls, because obviously free-to-players can't do the clues, but they made them free-to-play compatible, so free-to-players love that shit. Full Sarah used to be like 3 or 4 mil back in the day, and that was even worth 3 or 4 mil back in like actual 07 was, I'd say, more valuable than 3 or 4 mil is today, just because we have a lot more players who actually know what they're doing. Like myself, I had no idea what I was doing back then. But if we added free-to-play, eventually those items would drive up in price, and I think that would solve the problem with clue scrolls. So I am actually, there's a lot of things. There is some things I like about it, but I'm going to vote no on the expansion. I think I'm pretty confident in voting no for that, but I don't think it'll fail to pass. But we'll see when we look at the results. Pen and spider hat requirement from 45 to 40 to match the torso. No, I'd say you just gotta get 45 defense, so you can use the, because I think the Berserker helm is 45 defense. If it's not, I stand corrected, but I'd say if you're pure, you should just get 45 defense, so no. Trouble brewing outfits in your house? Absolutely. Now this next question is fascinating. Everyone knows that the Urim staff is absolutely useless. It has a good plus 15 mage bonus, but, the set effect for rims is not that great, and it's two-handed, so you can't use the Zami book anyway, so it's actually not good at all. But this is saying you could auto-cast Sarah's Strike, and right now it's the only god spell you can't auto-cast because you have the Void Mace and Staff of the Dead for the other two. So actually this sounds pretty interesting. And the only weird thing is that you don't really think of a Borrows item auto-casting a Sarah. That just seems weird. But I'm going to vote yes, because it actually looks pretty. I think that'd be a good idea. And it'd be kind of fair, because it'd be able to autocast. Funny story, my friend told me about one of his friends who bought like 10 mil worth of Rim staffs, and he thinks that because this developer blog was released a while ago, and they have all the questions in there, so he thought, well, a Rim staff are going to go up in price a lot if this passes, so he bought 10 mil worth of Rim staffs, and if this question passes, he'll actually probably make a lot of money. If it doesn't, then he's screwed. So I'm sure he can sell them back, but it'll take ages and not for the same price, I'm sure. Should you be able to buy gem and coal bags from Motherlode Mine? Coal bag gold 27 or 60 of each gem. No. I mean that's kind of overpowered though. It's like a pack yak. So like it's, let's see, 27 ores of coal and the gem bag will store 60. So I mean that, I don't like that. I mean, if the minigame players want more rewards, I'm fine with that, but I don't like that particular one, and it would drive down the price of coal a lot. Other players' pet options. Should you not? Okay. Yeah, I'd say yeah. I mean, that's just annoying, especially with the new fucking Chaos Elemental pet. Prospector's outfit, function as desert robes. Sure, because you kind of need that if you're mining the desert, like the granite or the whatever it is. Special attack buttons show the percent energy you got and whether you have enough to perform it. No, I like it how it is. You know, I just kind of, let's see, do I got it here? Yeah. I like it just looks classic to me. So I just don't like I don't like the idea that they're going to change the look of it. Orion does have that feature, which I think is a little bit overpowered. I think they shouldn't be allowed to have that. Toggle, turn off the smoke. Nah, I mean that you're kind of going down there knowing that that's going to be like that. Warning messages, yes, I had to go through that warning message countless times now. Deposit box, I don't see why not. Improve black salamanders. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't think anyone actually hunts those, so if you slightly increase their XP, I think that'd be fine. Where your attack options appear. No, I don't like. I'm gonna say no on that. That's basically saying like, see, right? I can left click these guys, whereas most monsters you have to right click and then click attack. One advantage of being high combat is that I usually don't have to do that. I like it for God Wars, but that's about it. So I'm gonna leave that advantage to people with high combat. Items that can be operated when equipped, list all their options in the right click menu. Nah, I like the operate thing. Alright, remember you need 75% to pass. Surprised how these are barely passing the modes, but Clan Wars is comfortably passing there. Treasure shells, looks like we're getting that. I did actually submit a treasure shells reward option, an item. It was I did a clue scroll last night, and I noticed Yuri, the double agent guy who you fight during the clues, the guy in purple, he has this black suitcase, and it looks really cool, and if you could have that, that'd be awesome. So I did submit that as a clue reward. So if this does, assuming this does pass, you know, maybe that'd be cool to actually see that in the game, and it'd be my idea. So it's just saying, in case there is one, now you heard it here first. I submitted it on the forum, by the way. There's a little thread for that in suggestions. This isn't passing. Not too surprised about that. Kind of close, but not too close. Wow. The guy who bought 10 mil worth is going to be really pissed when he sees that. 74%. That could change, but I mean, on average, it probably won't. It could get lower too, so that's the thing. So it might pass, you never know. But looks like that guy's friend is going to be screwed because he's going to have all those Arim staff, and they're going to still be shit after this poll unless it goes to 75. Looks like everything else is just about passing. Turning off the smoke, barely passing. Could change. I don't see it well, but yeah, everyone. I don't know. I feel like people vote yes on everything. Just like yes, yes, yes. Like they assume it's because it's in a poll, it should be voted yes on, which isn't necessarily the case. So don't be afraid to vote no on a bunch of things. But as you see, I did here. But you know, if you do think yes is the right answer, then definitely vote that way. You know, just vote. You know, worry about your own opinion, not what other people think. And don't look at this too, honestly. Looks like we'll get a lot more votes than this, though. I think we can get a lot more than 5,000 votes. So, like I said, these numbers could change slightly. This could go down. The Rim Staff one could pass. We'll see. Anyway, guys, that's about it for this video. Really important tomorrow, I believe bank tabs will be coming out. The Old School RuneScape is typically updated on Thursdays, and I died. So anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you check out my video from yesterday about my dying a bunch of times and Zami Boss. I put a lot of work into that video. It took like 3 hours to make, so definitely check that out. And it's usually not a good idea for a YouTuber to upload 2 videos in 2 days, but I'm doing it here because this is relevant, so why not? Anyway, so like this video if you enjoyed. Check out that other video. Subscribe. Join the clan chat. Andrew AJT62, and which is right here, Andrew AJT62, and also you can follow me on Twitch and Twitter down below. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.